Hey guys, in the last video I talked about heading tags and paragraph tags, and in this video I will be talking about comments, line breaks and horizontal lines in HTML. But before we do that, after making my last video, I was thinking, is it better for me to randomly in each video show you one or two tags and then start a new HTML document every time, just to teach you the basic of headings and paragraphs and line breaks and lists and tables and stuff? Or should we, in this series, make one simple HTML website from scratch using what we learn in each video? So I thought that would be a better idea to get the grasps of how you create a simple HTML website, and you can also learn each new tags and tips and tricks along the way. So in my last videos I talked about title tags, h1 tags, h2 tags and p tags, along with HTML head tags, body tags and doc type declaration. But for in my HTML series, I am thinking of making a sushi website, a sushi recommendation website. I could call it My Favorite Sushi as a web title. So I'll just do that, My Favorite Sushi Site. Now in this website, I will be showing people who come to my website what sushi is. I'll be explaining what sushi is. I'll be talking about, I could talk about the history, I could make a list of my favorite sushi, I could post pictures, I could put external links to Wikipedia on sushi or any recommended sushi sites and so on. Okay, so first, as a heading, I could write, this is what should I write for my heading? My sushi site? Yeah, that will do. And for my subtitle, H2, place where I can talk about my favorite sushis. Sushis. Yeah, that's it. Now let's save this for now and try opening it with my browser. There we go. Looks okay for now. It's dull, but still, we'll put all the pictures in and the the cheerful, colourful stuff later on. Yeah. Excuse me. So now in my paragraph, let's type what sushi is. So the first thing a visitor wants to know is, what is sushi? With a little q. There. And in my answer, I could put it like this so that it's easier to know. Don't bother with that. What is sushi? And in my answer, I could say sushi is a traditional Japanese food where you have vinegared I can't type, flavored rice, and on top of it you put various raw fish on. That's a valid explanation, isn't it? Let's save this and check it out. In my paragraph tag, I put question, what is sushi, and then I pressed enter to go to a next line so that it's actually easier to see. However, in my browser, the question and the answer is on the same line. This I've briefly talked about in my previous video, in my last one of course, is because HTML ignores white spaces. No matter how many spaces or enters you press, it's always going to be like that. So what we need to insert is a line break tag in between. So over here, or it could be here, or it could be before the answer here, but I'll just put it here so that it's easier to see. I'll write a lesson tag and then BR for line break, and there. Now BR doesn't have a start tag and the end tag, it only contains one tag, and in most HTML documents this works as a valid BR line break tag. However, for educational purposes, I still recommend you to insert what was this again? / before closing the tag. Now, if you're doing XHTML, which is a different version of HTML, which is more stricter with more rules, you need this / in line breaks. Therefore, in this tutorial, I'll make sure that I always put / before the end. So let's save this and try refreshing. There we go, like that. Even if I put my A at the back so that this looks like one simple line, even if I refresh it, nothing happens. This is because HTML ignores white spaces and this BR tab puts a new line into it. It's called a line break tag. Now I'll put one more here so that I have an extra space in between these two. There we go. And that's one of the things I said I'm going to talk about. Next, I'll talk about comments. Now, if you're making a real decent sized website, it doesn't have to be as big as Amazon or Facebook, but it could be like a site where you show off your favorite sushi, or talk about a restaurant, or it could be a blog. Anyway, in most cases the documents gets quite big. This already has 19 lines on its own, and it only has a title, a subtitle, a question and the answer. So you can imagine that in real web documents, the number of lines it contains is massive. And in project, when multiple people makes one website, in companies and stuff, well, it doesn't have to be a company, but in most cases companies, there'll be several people doing that single project, and there'll be one person who will be in charge of HTML, one person in charge of another language, concentrating on the same main.html. Now, for when you've got all these stuff jumbled into one document, what you want is a comment to tell people what these means. Now, these are all really simple, easy to understand. You can just look at it. It says, oh, H1. It's a heading, one tag, and it says my sushi site. So the heading is going to be my sushi site, and you can obviously see that the title is going to be my favorite sushi site. However, it'll be good practice to insert comments in the HTML document so that, one, if you're working with multiple number of peoples, they can understand what you've written in that specific part of the document, and two, you won't forget what you wrote. So in what I want to do later on is, next to my sushi site or below it, I want to put a picture of a sushi, a photo, a simple one. It could be salmon, it could be tuna, anything I want. So in between, after H1, I'm going to do a closed, a lesson sign, an exclamation mark, 2 dashes, and another 2 dashes, and I'll do a greater sign. Now this is a comment, or with there. There we go. Anything you insert inside here, this is a comment. And I save it, and I reload, doesn't get displayed. So, for example, if I cut this and put it in front of h1, now this h1 tag becomes a comment as well. So if I save this and reload, my sushi site disappears. Excuse me. This is also good practice if you want to test out various structure of your website and you want to hide parts of your HTML or comment it out. That's what it's called. There, this is a comment. So in my comment, I will type in remember to insert sushi photo here. Bang. And even if I refresh it, or my sushi site comes back, obviously, but the remember to insert text doesn't appear. Now, the last thing I want to do in this video, because it's already, how long? Whoops, 11 minutes, so that's too long. The last thing I want to do quickly is between the h2 tag and the question, I want to put in a horizontal line like this. Let's check it out. Now that looks ugly and it doesn't cover the whole site width, and it's really a daunting task to do all with that, even if you can copy and paste. So there's a cool HTML tag for it to do that, which is HR. Now I save it and I refresh. So instead of that dot line, now we have one neat horizontal line covering the whole website. There we go. You can change the length of this line and so on, but I'll talk about that in my next series when we talk about CSS, which is all about decorating your website. So now the video's gone for too long, I'll stop here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.